The suit I had custom designed by a gold medal designer was given by my wife to the new intern. Su Yi bragged about it on social media. Thanks for the gift from President Shun. I'll keep working hard. My assistant sent me the screenshot. In the photo, the intern is standing next to Shin Yanxiao, wearing the handmade suit I spent millions on. I forwarded it directly to Shin Yanxiao. Director Shin, what does this mean? Why is my suit on an intern? Shin Yanxiao replied instantly with a voice message, his voice full of exhaustion. Honey, it's just a suit. It's not like you're short on clothes. I was furious. You have 1 hour to get him to change out of that suit. Shin Yanxiao read the message but didn't reply. 2 minutes later, Shin Yanxiao received a text message. Her newly purchased luxury car was auctioned off by me for 1 cent. All the high-end custom dresses at home were also shredded by me. Some people who've sat in high positions for too long forget who's really in charge. 1. Just moments ago, Shin Yanxiao had left my message on read. But now she's calling me one ring after another. I let the phone ring for quite a while before leisurely picking up. As soon as the call connected, that familiar voice came through. Honey, what did that text message mean? Why was my car sold? Listening to the accusatory tone in Shin Yanxiao's words, I replied calmly. Isn't it obvious? I sold your car for nothing. There was a brief silence on the other end of the line before Shin Yanxiao spoke again, his usually gentle voice barely containing his anger. Do you have any idea that car was worth 100 million? There are only 5 in the world, and I fought hard to get one. Why did you just sell it like that? Then why did you give my suit to someone else to wear? Hearing the slight anger in my tone, Shin Yanxiao softened her voice. Honey, Su Yi is my assistant intern. He didn't have a suit for the banquet, so he had no choice but to borrow yours. You have so many clothes that you never wear them again after one use. It's just for work. What's the big deal about lending out one outfit? Shin Yanxiao's words made me laugh in anger. The company has so many executives you could have taken, yet you chose to bring her, an assistant intern who knows nothing, to the banquet. And now you dare to turn around and blame me? Shin Yanxiao seemed to ignore my questioning entirely, letting out a deep sigh. Don't overthink it. There's really nothing between me and Su Yi. As if recalling something, her tone carried a hint of resentment. Can't you stop being so overbearing? Shin Yanxiao's words successfully made me laugh in anger. With impatience in my tone, I said, if my clothes aren't returned within an hour, then don't expect to keep those rags in your wardrobe either. Shin Yanxiao fell silent for a moment before hanging up the phone. In less than half an hour, the clothes were returned exactly as they were, with traces of dry cleaning still on them. I tossed the clothes into the trash bin without a second thought and then sent Shin Yanxiao a photo. In the photo, Shin Yanxiao's walk-in closet was in complete disarray. All her custom-made dresses had been cut to shreds, and even her necklaces and jewelry were smashed to pieces by me. Shin Yanxiao's voice was filled with anger. I've already dry-cleaned the clothes and returned them to you. Why are you still making a scene? My voice turned cold as well. This is what happens when you cross me. Don't let it happen again. Remember to buy new clothes. Yours have all been turned to shreds. With that, I hung up the phone. I knew Shin Yanxiao was angry, but I didn't care. Back when I went to Shin Yanxiao's school to provide funding, I met her at the school's promotional event. At that time, Shin Yanxiao was starting her own business. Despite her petite frame, she had incredible drive. I was impressed by her business proposal and gave her substantial financial support. Shin Yanxiao pursued intellectual romance, and through our daily interactions, she inevitably fell in love with me and launched a passionate pursuit. At that time, I was under family pressure to get married. Shin Yanxiao was reliable and ambitious, and she treated me with meticulous care. I thought Shin Yanxiao might be a good choice. I accepted Shin Yanxiao's confession, and under her daily gentle persistence, I gradually fell for her. My affection for Shin Yanxiao grew day by day. Not only did I give her many resources, but I also invested heavily to support her company. But for me, career was always the top priority. Love was just a spice in life, something that could be taken or left. Due to being too busy with work, my relationship with Shin Yanxiao gradually became stable on the surface, but in reality we grew emotionally distant. However, I could only accept being widowed, not the other party's infidelity. Su Ye's involvement completely shattered the last bit of trust one had in Shin Yanxiao. 2. Shin Yanxiao did not come home that night. I didn't wait for her either, closing the door directly and going to sleep. The next day, I was awakened by a piercing phone ringtone. My assistant had sent me 2 screenshots from Su Ye's social media feed. The moment I saw the photos, I was instantly furious. In the pictures, Su Yi was posing with medicine, while Shen Yanxiao, wearing loungewear, was dutifully wringing out a towel beside her. Although I have a cold and high fever, I don't feel uncomfortable at all, thanks to CEO Shen's heartwarming medicine. The second photo made me even more furious, leaving a lump in my throat. On the table was a delicious-looking breakfast, and across from it, Shen Yanxiao, wearing an apron, smiled gently. Her fair, snow-white hands were patiently peeling an egg for Su Yi. CEO Shen personally cooked breakfast for me. It was absolutely delicious. I feel so honored. Staring at the screenshots in my hand, I was lost in thought for a long time. I thought my warning yesterday would make Shen Yanxiao behave, but I never expected her to spend the night with Su Yi. On the other end of the phone, the assistant continued, "Sir, this morning Madam came to the company with Mr. Su. She didn't even have time to change her clothes before rushing to prepare lunch for him." Hearing the assistant's words, I laughed bitterly at Shen Yanxiao's audacity. In our 3 years of marriage, she never once cooked for me. Now she's buying medicine for Su Yi and preparing meals for him. What a devoted wife and loving mother she's become. Since she enjoys cooking with medicine, I'll make sure she gets her fill. I went to the market and bought up all the ingredients, then purchased dozens of boxes of cold medicine from the pharmacy, packing everything to take to the office. The company employees saw my aggressive approach and, though somewhat puzzled, still nodded and greeted me. After returning their smiles, I walked straight into the CEO's private elevator, heading directly to Shen Yanxiao's office. As soon as I pushed open the door, I saw the two of them eating. Shen Yanxiao was peeling shrimp for Su Yi, his hands covered in greasy stains, the ring on his ring finger glaringly bright. Watching this dramatic scene, my playful gaze settled on Shen Yanxiao. "Since you enjoy cooking for others so much, you can handle the company's lunches from now on. Oh, and one more thing." I turned to the CEO's assistant standing nearby. "Is there a lot of people catching colds in the company recently?" The assistant lowered his head. 32 people in the company have caught colds today." I looked at Shen Yanxiao with a smile in my eyes. "I've already bought the medicine. Since so many people in the company have caught colds, the task of preparing the medicine will be left to you." Shen Yanxiao was furious. "This is the company. What are you making a scene for? Are you out of your mind?" I took out my phone and forwarded 2 screenshots my assistant had sent me to Shen Yanxiao. "Don't you love brewing medicine and cooking for others? The whole company is waiting for you to take care of them." The moment she saw the screenshots, Shen Yanxiao's expression changed drastically. She looked at me with disappointment and sighed deeply. "Husband, you've let me down so much. Are you really going to get angry over such a trivial matter? Ultimately, this is all your fault. If you hadn't forced Su Yi to take off his clothes yesterday, he wouldn't have gotten sick and developed a fever. As your wife, it's only right that I take care of him to atone for your mistakes." Seeing my expression darken, Su Yi rushed out and stood in front of Shen Yanxiao. He bowed sincerely and apologized. "Sir, it's all my fault. If you must reprimand someone, reprimand me. Don't take it out on my sister." A hint of a smug smile flashed in Su Ye's eyes. His dalshin buyen er. I was infuriated by Su Ye's blatant hypocrisy, a thief crying, "Stop thief." I walked up to Su Yi, gripped his sharp chin, and landed a heavy slap across her face. Looking at Su Ye's red, swollen cheek, I sneered, "Who the hell do you think you are? Since when do you have the right to butt in?" 3. The crisp sound of the slap stunned the onlookers. Though I was known for being decisive at work, I had always been kind in personal interactions. This was the first time I'd ever hit someone in public. Shen Yanxiao reacted the fastest. Seeing Su Yi being hit, she immediately flew into a rage. "Are you out of your mind? Why did you hit someone?" Su Yi, noticing Shen Yanxiao defending him, couldn't help feeling secretly pleased. But when he looked at Shen Yanxiao, his eyes welled up with tears. "It's all right, sister, it doesn't hurt. It's all my fault for not explaining clearly. The gentleman must have misunderstood our relationship. Don't be angry with the gentleman. He definitely didn't mean to hit me. Sir, the reason for today's breakfast is that I have a chronic stomach condition. Sister was worried I might have an attack, so she made it for me. Yesterday my sister stayed up all night taking care of me, but it's only because I truly had no one else to help me. Not like you, sir, who has a happy family. I didn't know you'd get angry over this." I was so infuriated by Su Ye's attempt to distort the truth that I laughed bitterly. Shen Yanxiao, concerned about Su Ye's stomach condition, woke up early to personally prepare breakfast for him. But he never considered that, as her husband, My frequent work-related social engagements had also left me with severe stomach problems. She could take care of Su Yi when he was sick, yet she never once boiled an egg or peeled a shrimp for me. Shen Yanxiao stepped forward to help Su Yi up, but I walked right up to him and slapped Su Yi twice with all my might. If I want to hit him, I'll hit him. Do I need to check the calendar first? Sun Zijuan, have you lost your mind? Shen Yanxiao was utterly enraged. She clenched her fists, ready to strike back, but Assistant Su stepped in front of me and firmly caught Shen Yanxiao's raised hand before it could land. Shen Yanxiao stared at her assistant in disbelief. Su Ning, do you even know who's in charge here? This is my company, and I'm your boss. Do you believe I can fire you right now? Assistant Su stood protectively in front of me, completely ignoring Shen Yanxiao's words. Apologies, but my duty is to protect Mr. Sun. Watching Shen Yanxiao's furious expression, I stared at her with a mocking smile. The one who can't distinguish priorities should be you. I am the boss of this company. Assistant Su was transferred from my family's company to assist you. Did you really think she was your subordinate? She was a manager at our family business, yet she came here to clean up your messes. Aren't you ashamed? Shen Yanxiao flushed crimson from my words, and my amused gaze shifted to Su Yi. Better not cross me lightly, or I can't guarantee what will happen to you. You too, Shen Yanxiao. After throwing out these words, I turned and left the company. Assistant Su gave Shen Yanxiao a deep look before following me out. For that night, Shen Yanxiao stormed back home. She was furious, but because of what I said today, she suppressed her anger and didn't dare to lash out. Honey, can you please stop making a scene? Su Yi fell ill because of you. As his supervisor, it's only natural for me to take care of him. You're being too unreasonable. Su Yi is new to the workplace, and you barged into the company to make a scene. How is he supposed to face others after this? I seemed to not hear Shen Yanxiao's words at all, taking small sips of the Tiguanyin tea in my hand, and said gently, I don't want to argue right now. Sit down, let's talk properly. Although reluctant, Shen Yanxiao obediently sat down opposite me. The moment she sat down, she couldn't wait to start explaining. Ning, there's really nothing between me and Su Yi. Please stop bullying him. He was really upset for a long time after you hit him today. He doesn't understand why you dislike him so much. Su Yi is just a college graduate who's new to society. Why are you picking on an inexperienced kid? He even wanted to invite you out for golf to apologize in person. Please don't make things difficult for him. I looked at Shen Yanxiao's desperate attempts to justify herself with sarcasm and chuckled lightly. Shen Yanxiao, do you still not realize your mistake even now? Su Yi fell ill in the middle of the night, yet instead of going to the hospital, he came to you. Can you cure illnesses or something? Moreover, you're a married woman. Is it appropriate for you to stay overnight at a single man's place late at night? I've already warned you. Why did you make the same mistake again? I don't need her apology, nor do I need you to secretly give him money to ask me out as atonement. I just need you to admit your mistake. As soon as the words fell, Shen Yanxiao eagerly explained. Honey, can you please not overthink this? My relationship with him is completely innocent. If anything were to happen, it would have happened long ago. After all, this whole mess started because of you. Because I love you, I willingly helped clean up your mess. While I tolerate you, can't you also tolerate me? I won't hold it against you for embarrassing me in front of the company today, and you shouldn't keep getting angry over Su Yi either. I looked at Shen Yanxiao, my voice turning cold. Started because of me? Did I ask her to wear my clothes? Ask yourself honestly, is it because of me that you're so attentive to Su Yi? Not only did you not resist Su Ye's inappropriate behavior, but you also willingly accepted it. It was you who made him think he had a chance to get close to you. Listening to my words, Shen Yanxiao frowned tightly. Why do you always insist on your own views and misinterpret others with your wrong assumptions? Su Yi is not that kind of person at all. Husband, I truly love you. What more can I do to make you believe me? I'm dead serious, I said sternly. You have two choices. Either kick Su Yi out and make me breakfast for a month as an apology, or you choose Su Yi and we get divorced. Hearing me actually mention divorce, Shen Yanxiao finally let out a helpless sigh. She was both angry and amused by me, completely unable to comprehend what I was making such a fuss about. Husband, you're being completely unreasonable. You want to divorce me over such a trivial matter? I don't want to choose either. Please stop putting me in such a difficult position. If you really can't stand Su Yi, I'll transfer him to a branch office. I promise you'll never have to see him again. Shen Yanxiao spoke with righteous indignation, as if I were the one making an unreasonable fuss. She didn't think she was in the wrong. Instead, she pinned the blame on me. Seeing Shun Yanxiao's indifferent expression, I was furious but forced myself to stay calm. Shun Yanxiao, since you're still protecting Su Yi at this point, let's get a divorce. Hearing my words, Shun Yanxiao's face darkened instantly. I've already made such a big compromise. Why are you bringing up divorce again? I've said you're the only husband I'll ever have in this lifetime. I absolutely refuse to let you leave me. The last remnants of love I held for Shun Yanxiao vanished completely the moment she uttered those words. Since she still chose to stand by Su Ye's side, I could no longer contain my emotions, my voice dripping with icy sharpness. If you're unwilling, I wouldn't mind becoming a widower either. As soon as the words fell, I raised my hand and slammed it heavily against the glass cabinet behind Shun Yanxiao. With a crisp sound of shattering glass, the antique vase inside was smashed to pieces. 5. The cabinet door crashed heavily to the ground, and the flying glass fragments left a thin cut on Shun Yanxiao's face. Shun Yanxiao was startled by my actions. She touched her neck with lingering fear, her gaze at me filled with anger. Have you lost your mind? I see you still haven't realized your mistake. You'd better stay home and reflect on your actions. I can tolerate your tantrum today, but I can't promise I'll endure it next time. Afraid I might continue my outburst, she slammed the door and left, the villa's door shaking violently from the impact. In the past, even a small cut on my hand would make Shun Yanxiao worry for ages. Now, seeing my hands covered in wounds, she remains completely indifferent. Watching Shun Yanxiao's departing figure, I stared at my blood-gushing palm. In that moment, I was utterly disappointed in the person who had shared my pillow day and night. I returned home with my long-prepared luggage. The moment I saw my parents, I told them about the decision I had carefully considered on the way. I want a divorce from Shun Yanxiao. My parents unconditionally supported my decision. I didn't tell them the real reason why I wanted to divorce Shun Yanxiao, nor did I mention Su Ye's matter. Only when my mother saw the crisscrossing scars on my hands did endless hatred surge in her eyes. During the time I was back home, Shun Yanxiao never called me. She hadn't returned home either. Otherwise, she would have known I'd already moved out of the villa. She silently sulked at me, while I had already gracefully chosen to let go. The next time I learned about their affair was when Assistant Su sent me the official announcement from Shun Corporation. To make up for his guilt towards Su Yi, Shun Yanxiao not only promoted him to be his personal secretary with a vice president's salary, but also handed over all the company's most sought-after major projects to Su Yi. He even dismissed Assistant Su, publicly stating that the company wouldn't tolerate those who bite the hand that feeds them. With Shun Yanxiao's doting, Su Yi became the center of attention overnight, living a life where everyone fawned over him. To keep Su Yi close, Shun Yanxiao gave him my former office. The office was renovated and redecorated, not only furnished with Su Ye's preferred decor, but even the framed photo of us on the desk was casually tossed into the trash by Shun Yanxiao. In Su Ye's social media posts, intimate photos of him and Shun Yanxiao appeared one after another. Not only were there photos of them having lunch together, but also a video of Shun Yanxiao wearing an apron, carefully arranging the dishes. Su Yi also knew I could see his social media posts. His captions were ambiguous, deliberately blurring the nature of his relationship with Shun Yanxiao. President Shun is the dream of men across the country, but she said she would only have lunch with me alone. President Shun said I'm her little ray of sunshine, and every day she spends with me makes her happy. I didn't care about Su Ye's petty, underhanded tricks. Instead, I quietly transferred all my assets in Shun Corporation and called the other shareholders. My parents also gave their full support, concentrating their efforts to suppress all projects of Shun Yanxiao's company, causing Shun Corporation's stock to hit rock bottom. I didn't care what kind of damage such actions would bring to the company. After all, Shun Corporation was just something I created in my spare time for amusement. Rather than leaving it to be managed by scum like Shun Yanxiao, it's better to let it cease to exist. On the day Shun Corporation's stock hit the limit down, Shun Yanxiao's mother called me. Her voice carried a cautious, ingratiating tone. "Zijuan, do you have time to come home for a meal?" Looking at the divorce agreement already drafted by the lawyer on my desk, I replied in a low voice, "All right, I'll go back tonight. It's time for all this to end." 06. Shun Yanxiao's parents have always treated me well. I shouldn't keep them in the dark about what's happening between Shun Yanxiao and me. It's better to explain everything face to face. That evening, I drove to the Shun residence. When we arrived at the Shun residence, Shun Yanxiao's parents had already been waiting for a long time. Even the elderly Madame Shun, who was over 80 years old, stood trembling at the entrance with her cane. Zijuan Chao said she'll be back soon. I nodded with a faint smile, completely indifferent to Shun Yanxiao's whereabouts. The butler respectfully ushered me into the reception room, where I sat on an ebony chair, sipping the light tea in my hand. The father-in-law and mother-in-law exchanged glances, sitting restlessly for a long while before finally casting pleading looks at the elderly madam. The elderly madam leaned on her cane, tentatively looking at me. Zijuan, I remember you and Chao always had a good relationship. Did Chao do something to upset you? Why have you been suppressing the Shin family so persistently? I remained silent, instead skimming the tea foam and revealing the scattered scars on my hand. At the sight of the scars on my arm, the mother-in-law's eyes widened in shock, while the father-in-law stood up in astonishment. What's going on here? Assistant Su spoke before I could, recounting everything that had happened over the past few days to my in-laws in one breath. How Shen Yanxiao gave my custom-made suit to Su Yi, and how she repeatedly allowed Su Yi to provoke me, and how Shen Yanxiao hadn't come home for days, staying overnight by another strange man's side. I set down my phone and the porridge, smiling faintly. Shen Yanxiao fired all the employees at the company who had any criticism of Su Yi, including Assistant Su. Not only that, she even gave my office to Su Yi. Is this how the Shin family treats relationships? My father-in-law wanted to step forward and take my hand, but he was deterred by my icy gaze. Zijuan Chao didn't mean it. I'll definitely give you an explanation. Can you forgive Chao for my sake? Just give her a chance to make amends. Mom, don't beg him. Shen Yanxiao walked in, her face filled with anger, followed by the formally dressed Su Yi. The moment she saw Su Yi, my mother-in-law's face instantly fell. Shen Yanxiao, what on earth is going on here? Why did you lay hands on Chao? Shen Yanxiao's icy gaze landed on me, but when he saw I wasn't responding, he quickly withdrew it again. It's his own madness that hurt his hand. Why blame me? Mom, Su Yi has been working all day and still hasn't eaten yet. Didn't you say we were having dinner at home today? So I just brought Su Yi back with me. He's been wanting to meet you for a long time. Su Yi flashed a harmless smile and handed the sandalwood box to his mother-in-law. Auntie, the gift was prepared in a bit of a hurry. I'm not sure if you'll like it. Noticing his mother-in-law's obvious displeasure, Shen Yanxiao quickly stepped in to smooth things over. He opened the packaging, revealing the rather ordinary jade bracelet inside. Mom, this isn't just some last-minute gift from Su Yi. For this jade bracelet, Su Yi visited several stores and spent all his savings. Listening to Shen Yanxiao defending me, Su Ye's provocative gaze once again fell upon me. My mother-in-law looked at the jade bracelet in Su Ye's hand, worth merely 100,000. Then at the imperial green jade I casually gifted her, valued at millions with exceptional quality, her face growing darker by the minute. My father-in-law angrily said, "Today is our family reunion. Why did you bring an outsider? Give her some money and let her eat out on her own." Mr. Shun's words were veiled, but I understood the deeper meaning behind them, smiling knowingly as I looked at Shen Yanxiao. Sure enough, Shen Yanxiao immediately became anxious and spoke up in defense of Su Yi. Mom, Su Yi hasn't eaten all day and went to such lengths to prepare gifts for you. Why did you still have to kick him out? As soon as the words left his mouth, Mr. Shin rushed over to Shen Yanxiao and landed a heavy slap. The slap didn't land on Shen Yanxiao's face, but on Su Yi instead. Don't you have a husband at home? Is it appropriate to bring another man home? Seeing Su Yi get hit, Shen Yanxiao rushed forward to shield him. She carefully wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth, her eyes filled with heartache. As if making a firm decision, she looked resolutely at her mother-in-law. Dad, Su Yi didn't do anything wrong. It's all my fault. If you want to hit someone, hit me. Why, he's just my assistant. I never thought he'd get angry over an assistant position. The mother-in-law clutched her chest in anger. You old fox. Stop pretending to be innocent. Isn't this whole mess your fault? Get this wretched woman out of here at once. Seeing the servant about to take Su Yi away, Shen Yanxiao tightly shielded him in his arms. Let me see who dares. Father Shen struck with extreme cruelty. Su Ye's nose was still covered in blood blisters, looking utterly ridiculous. He glared at me furiously. Son Zijuan, how much longer are you going to keep causing trouble? As soon as the words fell, everyone around fell silent. Grandmother Shen, who had always doted on Shen Yanxiao, raised her dragon-headed cane and struck him heavily. You heartless thing. If it weren't for Zhejuan, where would you be today? Xiao Qiao quickly apologized to Zhejuan and begged for his forgiveness properly. Shen Yanxiao didn't seem to mind and held Su Yi even tighter. Feeling Shen Yanxiao's protective stance towards him, the smugness in Su Ye's eyes grew more pronounced as he curled his lips in a defiant gesture towards me. I averted my gaze, and just as old Madame Shen's dragon-headed cane was about to come down again, I spoke up to stop it. Forget it. Hearing me speak up for myself, Shen Yanxiao sneered. Even if you speak for me, it's useless. Sun Zhejuan, I won't forgive you easily, unless you bow your head and apologize to me. 7. Well then, I'm truly sorry. Hearing my words of concession, Shen Yanxiao curled up the corners of her lips. Honey, as long as you're willing to apologize, there's still a chance for us to reconcile. Shen Yanxiao waited for me to yield, but instead, I smiled and pulled out a document from my bag, instructing Assistant Su to hand it to Shen Yanxiao. Staring at the bold words, divorce agreement on the cover, Shen Yanxiao froze in place, disbelief written all over her face as she stared blankly at the document in her hands. I smiled faintly, my tone utterly indifferent. I've already prepared all the terms. I'm only here today to discuss divorce with you. If there are no issues, just sign it. Looking at the agreement I had already signed, Shen Yanxiao's voice trembled slightly. Sun Zhejuan, are you really going to do this? Su Yi is just a college graduate who's new to society. Is it really necessary to be so angry with her? I paid no attention to Shen Yanxiao's impotent rage. You've repeatedly crossed my boundaries for the sake of a mistress, why should I still show you any respect? Shen Yanxiao, the divorce is just the appetizer. Her father was so enraged by Shen Yanxiao's words that he suffered a heart attack, and her mother nearly knelt before me. They spoke anxiously, afraid that I might really divorce Shen Yanxiao. Zhejuan, divorce is not a trivial matter. Please think it over carefully. Qiao Qiao will change. Mom will help keep an eye on her. Mom is begging you, give Qiao Qiao another chance. I turned a deaf ear, smiling faintly as I looked at Shen Yanxiao. If you keep dragging your feet and refuse to divorce me, I have plenty of ways to make you agree. The moment Su Yi saw the divorce papers, his eyes couldn't conceal his joy. That hint of smugness didn't escape my notice either. Su Yi and I locked eyes. Congratulations, you've gotten your hands on this utterly useless trash. Jinjin stays with me. I won't let Jinjin have a mother like you. After saying this, I turned and left. Returning home, I felt a sense of relaxation like never before. Jinjin is the daughter of Shen Yanxiao and me, and she is 1 year old this year. Shen Yanxiao has never taken care of Jinjin, and our daughter doesn't have much affection for her. Keeping Auntie away from Shen Yanxiao is the best choice. Assistant Su said that my father-in-law and Su Yi had a fierce argument that nearly turned physical in the end. Shen Yanxiao shielded Su Yi the entire time, and even when my mother-in-law forced her to come apologize to me, she showed no concern. Assistant Su hesitated, thinking for a long while before finally speaking. President Shin entrusted all the major company projects to Su Yi, but Su Yi completely botched them, causing the company to suffer significant losses. Moreover, just now Mr. Shin advised President Shin to prioritize the bigger picture, but he said that since you two have children together and the group was built by both of you, you're just throwing a tantrum and would never deal a fatal blow to the group. In fact, you might even help out instead. Listening to Assistant Su's words, my expression gradually turned icy. I could make Shin Corporation cease to exist, but that doesn't mean I would allow money that rightfully belongs to me to flow into someone else's pockets. Early the next morning, I rushed to the company. I had called ahead to gather the board members in the meeting room, but as I was heading upstairs, Su Yi blocked my path. Su Yi looked arrogant. His eyes filled with undisguised disdain when he saw me. This is Shin Corporation. President Shun is busy and has no time to see you. I didn't bother responding to him and walked straight into the CEO's private elevator. To my surprise, he directly blocked my path and said sarcastically, President Shin has already divorced you. Unauthorized personnel are not allowed inside. I looked at the man before me with a mocking smile. Since I haven't divorced Shen Yanxiao yet, are you in such a hurry to climb the social ladder? Su Yi, no longer his usual timid self, looked down at her condescendingly. As far as I know, Shen Yanxiao has never cooked a single meal for you or prepared your medicine even once. Don't get cocky just because Qiao Qiao hasn't signed the divorce papers yet. She relies on me. Divorcing you is just a matter of time. I paid no attention. After stepping out of the elevator, I sat on the sofa in the lobby and waited. Shaking my phone in my hand, I smirked with a wicked grin. I just sent a message to your future wife. You'd better stand right here and keep a close eye on her. Otherwise, I smiled meaningfully, but Su Yi couldn't hold back. Just as he was about to sneer, Shin Yanxiao sharply cut him off. The woman's temples were dotted with fine beads of sweat, and the anger in her eyes was unmistakable the moment she saw Su Yi. Su Yi also felt somewhat wronged. She lowered her head and said, "I'm sorry, Chow Chow. I couldn't stop her for you." Hearing Su Ye's words, Shin Yanxiao grew even angrier, her expression darkening more and more. Enough. Hearing the obvious anger in Shin Yanxiao's voice, Su Yi was ecstatic, but he still suppressed his emotions. "Rest assured, CEO. Next time I'll have security throw him out directly." Shin Yanxiao's expression grew increasingly grim as she looked at Su Yi. Clenching her fists, she recalled the major projects the group had lost, and her anger flared uncontrollably. "Su Yi, you're fired. Get out. Get out now." Hearing Shin Yanxiao's words, Su Yi froze, his smile stiffening on his face as he stood motionless for a long time. Meanwhile, Shin Yanxiao stepped forward and took my hand, her tears falling in large drops. "Zijuan, I've already fired him. Can't you spare Shin Corporation for Auntie's sake?" I looked at Shin Yanxiao mockingly. "If you still refuse to sign the divorce papers, the company can declare bankruptcy by tomorrow at the latest." Shin Yanxiao seemed somewhat helpless as she heaved a heavy sigh. "Must you really be so ruthless?" I glanced impatiently at my watch. "You have 3 seconds left." Shin Yanxiao signed the divorce agreement in the very last second. She asked cautiously, "Zijuan, is there any chance for us in the future?" Meeting her pleading gaze, I responded with sarcasm. "Shin Yanxiao, your company has already gone bankrupt and been acquired. Now I am the chairman of the company. And you?" My gaze fell on Su Yi. "I heard you have a girlfriend you've been with for a long time. She's brain dead, but still clinging to life in the hospital, using Shin Yanxiao's money. Don't worry. From now on, no hospital will be willing to take your girlfriend." After leaving these words, I turned and stepped onto the CEO's private escalator. The money Shin Yanxiao spent was our marital joint property. She gave Su Yi a considerable amount, and I cannot tolerate others touching what's mine. The reason I just said so much to Shin Yanxiao was solely to smoothly obtain the divorce agreement. I've already acquired Shin Yanxiao's company, not only firing her but also letting her take away that multi-billion yuan loss-making mega project with her. My phone kept ringing one call after another, yet I paid no attention, letting it ring on. Without my assistance, Shin Yanxiao is nothing but trash. She's burdened with hundreds of millions in debt, kneeling at my doorstep every day begging for forgiveness, but I simply turn a blind eye. Shin Yanxiao's parents have visited my home multiple times, only to be chased away by my own parents. They're already furious to the point of flushed faces and strained necks over Shin Yanxiao's actions. How could they possibly help? In just a few weeks, Shin Yanxiao became unkempt, her once meticulously made-up face now deathly pale. Having gone through both divorce and bankruptcy, Shin Yanxiao completely fell into depravity, drowning her sorrows in alcohol day after day. To repay the debts, Shin Yanxiao's parents had no choice but to go out and work despite their advanced age. Seizing the opportunity, Su Yi would bring hangover soup to visit Shin Yanxiao every day. He pulled Shin Yanxiao into his embrace, his tone filled with happiness. "Now that you've broken free from someone as oppressive as Sun Zijuan, Chow Chow, you should be happy." Shin Yanxiao was seething with anger. When she saw Su Ye's smiling face, she instantly erupted in helpless rage. It's all your fault. If it weren't for you, Zijuan wouldn't have left me, and the company wouldn't have collapsed." Su Yi forced a smile. "Chow Chow, that's all in the past. Didn't you say I was your joy? Can't we just be happy together from now on?" Shin Yanxiao picked up something nearby and hurled it at Su Yi with all his might. "Get out. Zijuan, I only love Zijuan." Su Yi was infuriated by Shin Yanxiao's actions, his voice trembling with anger. "You're just a worthless woman who climbed up by relying on men. What right do you have to vent your anger? You brought all this upon yourself." Shin Yanxiao's eyes turned red with rage. "Don't you dare say that. Zijuan still loves me, I'm sure of it. Get out. Get out." Su Ye's emotions collapsed, her voice shrill, like a vengeful demon from hell. "You vile woman, I never liked you. At your age, craving the young, your advances only disgust me. No wonder others divorced you. You're the one who's despicable, pushing away those who truly cared for you with your own hands." With those words, he turned and walked away. Shin Yanxiao regained a sliver of clarity amidst the scolding. Watching Su Ye's retreating figure, Shin Yanxiao made a phone call. He sought help from his once closest friend to investigate Su Yi. That very night, photos of Su Ye's past participation in group orgies spread across the entire internet. To climb the social ladder, he not only acted as a homewrecker by being the other man, but was also once a top male escort at a high-end club. Not only that, but his girlfriend, who had been barely clinging to life, ended up brain dead because she saw him being humiliated by other women while trying to earn money. Thinking he was being bullied, she fought back desperately, which led to her condition. The other party originally had a chance to recover, but whenever there was any improvement, Su Yi would transfer her to another hospital. Over time, this delay resulted in brain death. He never gave up on her treatment, but only to extort money from her parents. The poor old couple had raised their daughter's murderer their entire lives. Shin Yanxiao watched as more and more scandals about Su Yi surfaced, finally realizing how terribly wrong she had been. Shin Yanxiao stopped bothering me and instead focused on dealing with Su Yi. I heard Su Yi ended up living a miserable life. No one in the industry dared to hire her, so she had to return to her old ways, being the other man for wealthy women. Unfortunately, the rich woman she latched onto this time was a tough character. Realizing she was about to be exposed, the woman quickly cut ties with her. As a result, Su Yi not only failed to get any money but also faced severe retaliation from the woman's husband, ending up with a permanently crippled leg. I thought the matter would end there, but I underestimated Shin Yanxiao's hatred for Su Yi. She reported Su Yi to the police for malicious murder. It turned out that the fatal blow to her girlfriend was struck by Su Yi. Su Yi was arrested by the police and faced 20 years in prison. After Su Yi was imprisoned, Shin Yanxiao realized his mistake. With the support of Shin's parents, she started her own business again. 5 years later, Shin Yanxiao's new company was on the right track, and I had become the most influential entrepreneur in the industry. Jin was already 5 years old. She was very good at acting spoiled, and every time Shin's parents saw the adorable Jin, they would harshly scold Shin Yanxiao. As Jin grew older, Shin Yanxiao visited my office more and more frequently. Jin is the daughter Shin Yanxiao carried for 10 months and gave birth to. I hope our daughter can grow up with a mother's love, so I haven't restricted their meetings. She wants to build a good relationship with our daughter, then pursue me again. But every time she tries to sweet-talk our daughter, the little girl frowns. I'm very happy living with Dad. I don't need a mom who would betray Dad. Shin Yanxiao looked at her serious daughter and ultimately sighed. Chang'an, your temper is just like your father's. Chang'an smiled sweetly. Then you should know I won't accept you. You would betray your relationship with Mom, and you would betray me too. At this moment, Shin Yanxiao was filled with regret. Despite this, she still tried her best to make it up to me and our daughter. As for her attempts at reconciliation, I accepted them all without hesitation. But whenever he brings up remarriage, I firmly reject him. I don't accept someone who has betrayed me before. Just like that suit, once touched by someone else, I'll mercilessly discard it. My life is already very happy. As for Shin Yanxiao, I'll make sure she lives in perpetual regret.